Education has been suffused with the concept of the reflective practitioner. Don't let anybody tell you, oh, you've just been engaging in some reflective practice. You've been engaging in research. You're not just doing a kind of navel gazing. You're actually trying to think about what the critical questions are.
The Foundation's aspiration is that evidence-based practice and innovation will be recognised as fundamental to the professional identity of those who work in the education and training sector.
I'd like to thank all of you who are practitioners who've taken part in our programme this year, and your energy and enthusiasm and the interesting things that you've done and the interesting things that you're going to tell us about today.
What are the values in your college? So I go into your college and I say, I know this is an abstract term, I know it sounds a bit wacky, but show me where the values are. Where do they come from? Where are they evident? Bobby Lea, she was doing research about the college, and part of her research, and she said to me, I've heard staff talk about all of these limitations and obstacles. What do you do? What do you do about it? And I couldn't answer her. And that question haunted me because I didn't like the answer I gave, that I didn't know, again, about how to change things.
I've worked in collaboration with Dr Anne O'Grady at Nottingham Trent University, which has been a great success because she brings with her the academic side of the project, whereas I'm coming from the prison side.
It's been quite an eye-opener. It's been interesting, hasn't it? We've learnt an awful lot from the students, which is part of the process as well.
We identified a need for sort of small-scale critical discussion groups. So we introduced tea and coffee refreshments to break down kind of the formal barriers between traditional sort of tutors and student relationship.
By the end of the project, the ones who weren't that keen at first on using the computers said, well, actually I found the BLE very useful. I could do exam practice, I could do grammar practice, there were quizzes I could use.
One of the most wonderful things that happened for my control group is they went off and set up a Facebook group where they discussed ideas given to them from Simon's lectures. That's fantastic. We're talking high-level theory discussed on Facebook independently. Those students may not be the most high-flying students, but they jumped grade boundaries from level 4 to level 5, and I believe that's because of their peer support.
And then the ones who were quite good at using computers, they were going on there quite regularly. Even sometimes before I told them I'd put something on, they'd gone on there and done it.
We're starting a project called Tap Out. First and foremost, if the student finds their own work experience themselves, that in itself is a big enough positive for the students to get out of it. Because ultimately, once they get out of college, they're going to have to find their own work experience or their own job.
The T bit is trust. The A bit is autonomy and autotelic. It's a bit of a posh word. Just basically means doing things because you love doing them. So really kind of keen to encourage learners to do the stuff they do because they love doing it, and to show them real life industry equivalents to what they're doing in the classroom. So everything kind of has meaning and it has got a vocational line of sight to the industry.
Research is a new challenge, and it's about expertise, and it's about enhancing professionalism.
Some of the things that I've learned through doing the paper, I find are reflected in my teaching, so my teacher training students are benefiting from it as well.
The first thing to do is to research your own practice And it's dead easy to come away and do some research that proves your manager is an arse, you know. We can all do that, can't we? But the manager's not there researching themselves. This is about you and your practice, and really thinking through what you can do to make a difference.
There's not a clear understanding or a clear engagement within a college or for practitioners about exactly what the place is that they work in. Because it's not like a school and it's not like a university. It's the place in between.
The sector tends to present a bit of a fluffy, you know, we're the agencies of second chance, when, you know, we help people have better lives, etc. I have to start talking about the economic benefits of the sector.
My vision, if you like, what I'm kind of passionate about achieving is creating autotelic learners, not just kind of automatons, you know, people that are doing it because they love it and they can do it independently, so that we're breeding genuine learners that are fit for the world.
You need an expansive learning environment. So my next question, of course, always is, so why don't we do it? Or how do we do it? I'll be a little bit provocative. An expansive learning environment on these terms is not Wednesday afternoons off. It's not. It's about redefining the objects, tools and social structures of the workplace.
One little case study I just wanted to briefly share with you was about a team leader who, while making her action plan, we've all heard it before, oh, there's so much to do, there's so much paperwork, I can't think about improving my practice because I've just got too much to do. And we used coaching questions, which are ways to get people to reflect. And it turned out that she's doing hours and hours of work for the rest of the people on her team because they don't know how to do it.
Some really key and quite interesting findings are that learners like us to leave them alone. Right? They like to be given time to absorb what they're doing and work on their projects without interruption.
3 weeks later, the result, the team leader has earned herself 4 or 5 hours a week of spare time. The others are a lot more effective and they're less dependent upon her.
Have they found a purpose, the tutors, for using this technology for the learners and for themselves?
I wouldn't say everybody. 4 out of 6 say yes, you know, they feel the relevance of using them, and the feedback from the learners are quite positive.
The final sort of criteria about any policy or about any agency that works in the sector, what changes on the ground, and that's where I'm coming from. That's the success for me. If I see change on the ground in college practice, that has succeeded.
At least 3 of the projects that we're doing will change practice in our organisation. So 3 quite small projects are going to change the whole face of what we do.
One of the really powerful aspects to a lot of these projects, they are challenging the rhetoric of effectiveness, challenging the rhetoric of improvement.
We support research because we're serious about this. We're serious about teaching and learning and the effectiveness of teaching and learning. But there is a level beneath that, a deeper level, to assist practitioners in building what you might call their professional power.
What I think we need in the further education sector is professionals to be knowledge producers. Because the expertise, huge expertise, rests within your daily practice. And that's the way to start to challenge power, rhetoric and nonsense.
For me, flow brings together these two things, so we're potentially making happier, more mentally healthy and integrated people who can actually do a job that they can get paid for and have a good life, which is what it's about.
The Foundation believes in that passionately. That is the long game, and that is why we will continue to support research.